Okay, looks like everything is live. Welcome to the third episode of the Unconquered Fam podcast. I'm your host Malik Mayweather. Um, Before I get started, I just want to shout out my brother EJ, who is also a man of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. He's doing a backpack drive for kids in Miami. So if you want to know more about that, the backpack drive that EJ is doing, you can find him on Instagram at king_faust and also at Get After It Now Culture. That's King_Faust, King_FOST, and Get After It Now is exactly how it sounds. No spaces or underscores in that. So you can find him on Instagram at both of those places to try to give back and help somebody help a kid get a backpack, man, so he can carry his stuff to school and he or she can carry their stuff to school and be successful and move forward. So I just wanted to shout that out before I got started with the podcast today. But today we're talking about family. So, and before I get into this, I want to state that this is a big gray area because everybody's family is specific to them. So it was kind of hard to try to attack this and really, figure out how to decipher, family, because family is so broad and there's so many things. But I try my best to, make it concise and really get into the topic in a way that also spreads positivity, peace, and love, and hopefully help you find that peace, whatever it means to you. So this is the Unconquered Fam, the Unconquered Fam podcast, and we're talking about family. First thing I want to say when we talk about family, just understand that there is no normal. It's just your family, whoever your family is, and how to attack this with positivity. I would say the first thing you need to do is have acceptance. Accept them for who they are and realize that no one is perfect, including you. You got to understand that if someone is outspoken, that's them. If they're an athlete and they're always in the sports, that's them. If they're quiet, that's them. And, whoever that person is, understanding and accepting that that person is who they are is really crucial. And you don't have to agree with everything, someone in your family is or isn't doing. It's critical to understand that too. You are you, I am me, and we're family, but we're also different people. We're also human. We have our wants and needs and differences between us. But that's what makes us who we are, and that's what makes family family. And the good thing about family is real. It's no real, I guess, similarities outside of looks and, maybe some upbringing, stuff that, that's culturally the same between different households or neighborhoods or areas of the country. But outside of that, everybody is different, within their family. And I think that accepting that is really big on, I'm really big on, acceptance when it comes to family, because you can't change a lot of things about a lot of people, but you can accept it and, move forward. It's like if a person is a musician, you can still push them to be great at music, even if you're not a musician. But with that being said, you can't make someone play the flute when they've been playing the guitar for 10 years. It's just not going to work. It's irrational, and it's going to leave both sides irritated. And that's when you start to get into trouble with family. So, to attack this positively, I think the first positive point would be to, really just learn acceptance and learn how to accept, people in your family. The second one I want to talk about as far as positivity is listen. And, we don't usually listen to the people that know us the best. And it's, two reasons why. And, it sucks, but it's two reasons why. And the first one I like to bring to attention is pride. Pride is the main thing that causes a lot of problems with family because we're comfortable. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's really a factor of comfort. Comfort is the factor that, brings about pride when it comes to family issues or whatnot. And, we feel we can express certain grievances or, certain things, how we feel about certain things with family because we're comfortable with them. We take each other for granted almost because we're comfortable. And that's just human nature. If I see you every day or talk to you every day, it's different from when I only see you a couple times a year or, maybe talk to you a couple of times a month. It's a lot different when you see someone every day. So we have to figure out how to listen and not really take people for granted, because it's it's life is it goes by pretty fast. I remember just going to college and now I'm graduated. So it's life goes that fast, and being away from your family and adding people to your family while you're gone and stuff like that is also big too. So that's something that I think can really help with listening. You have to learn to put your pride aside. And another thing outside of pride is I think a lot of people hide their identity under the expectations of others, or we tune others out because of our own expectations of ourselves. And it's easy to do that because when things are going good, it's easy to listen to somebody or talk to somebody and really figure out what's going on and whatnot, because things are going good for you and they're rooting you on and everybody's open. But when it's going bad, sometimes you don't want to listen, and it sucks because you get inside of your head and then you wonder what they're thinking, and then a lot of times it can be taken as somebody's hating on me, or they don't want to see me do this or see me do that. And a lot of times it's not that, but we don't listen enough to really figure that out, when it comes to family, because we're just so comfortable and we're vulnerable, and that vulnerability really affects our ability to listen and really take heed to what some people that know you the best or really care about you really have to say. you know Outside of listening and acceptance, I really want to talk about another positive point is to understand that understand time is everything. And all of this takes time, the accumulation of learning, trial and tribulations, and it is what it is that makes us successful. Those things make us successful. And the people we call family are who we learn from, whether it's immediate family, whether it's sports family, whether it's, just people that you grew up with, going to school with or whatnot. Those are the people you learn from. And accepting and listening helps us not only not get too comfortable to the point where we start to take each other for granted, but, it also helps us, understand that the good and the bad are all wrapped up, and we start to learn from those experiences and really start to grow together and understand that everything takes time. Nothing is overnight. You didn't go from birth to 18 years old and going to college, in one day. So there's a lot of things you had to learn, a lot of things that you had to do in order to, get to that point and really be ready and, really be ready and move forward into the next journey or next phase. And a lot of people taught you along the way. A lot of experiences taught you along the way. So, now we want to get into the source of, family, which is love. And, when we get into love, what I really want to talk about is forgiveness. Forgiveness is hard, it's hard, but, it can be done, and understand that it has to be done on both sides. If I say something, that I'm going to regret, it's going to take you to forgive me and me to forgive me for saying it, for us to both move past it. But you have to understand that you can't make anyone forgive you. They have to do it on their own time, and hopefully they realize that time really is everything, and they try to move past it sooner than later, because you will spend your whole life mad at somebody or mad at a certain situation that came about, and you can't move past it, and it's spilling over into other things in your life. It's spilling over into the energy that you put in to, if you got kids, the energy that you're putting into raising your kids. Now you don't have that positive energy. Now you got that negative energy, because that one situation keeps, spilling over into your life and what's going on. Or if you play a sport, now you can't think because you haven't let that certain situation at home or outside of the field go, which, most times it's the other way around. When you get there, you do let it go because you're not thinking about it. But sometimes it can spill over into those things. It can spill over into the things that you care about most. And, it's because we're vulnerable with family. You think about someone, your whole life you shared experiences with, that really binds y'all together. And it hurts a little more when something happens and you have to try to forgive somebody, because that they know that you were vulnerable. They know you, well enough to try to, not do whatever they did or say whatever they said to make you feel a way to where you would have to forgive them, you know. But these things happen. Nobody's perfect, like I said in the beginning, and it can go, left real quick. So learning to forgive, I think, is one of the basic things that you have to do when it comes to love with family. And like I said, forgiveness is hard, but also think about this: tough love is even harder because you can get it and you can dish it out, and it can be misinterpreted. Like I said earlier, that someone is doesn't really want to let you do what you want to do, or they don't support certain things that you're doing, and that comes from a place of caring, but sometimes it can come from a place of pride, and discerning which one is which is really hard to do. But you can't get inside anyone's head, so you have to forgive and do whatever it is you're going to do, or take heed or whatever you're going to take heed of, and go from there, and have these different conversations with family to really help dish out what's really going on and what's not, so that you can forgive, or you can understand that the tough love is what it is, and not take it the wrong way. I can't tell you which way is right or wrong a lot of times, but regardless, I'm going to try to do the best I can to make sure I don't lead you in the wrong direction if I care about you, if we're family, So I think communication really solves both when it comes to forgiveness and tough love, both dishing it and receiving it. But those are the two things that I want to talk about when it comes to love and family. It's forgiveness and tough love, and both of them are hard, and trying to understand both and communicate both after the fact, whatever the situation is really key to, growing and moving forward as a family, understanding that, time ain't gonna stop and ain't gonna wait for us to forgive each other, or wait for us to dish out the love that's needed, And as far as peace, which is the outcome of positivity and love, I think the fastest or the easiest way to have peace, when it comes to family, is understand that family business is family business. You don't know everyone, and everyone doesn't know you or your family. And I understand oftentimes a fresh perspective is needed to make sure you're coming from a good place or whatever. But I say don't share those things with people that are just way outside of your family. Like if you have a best friend or something, that's cool. Share it with your best friend, or I say when you're older, share it with your girlfriend or boyfriend, because a lot of relationships you get in when you're younger, they just don't foster into anything that will be worth giving out, I guess, family information. But if you consider someone your family, and everyone has to be a judge of character and all of that, you consider someone your family, and you can tell them, and they're not inside your immediate family or around the situation that's going on, I say tell those people. Don't just let anybody into your family's business, and that'll keep a lot of hassle and a lot of different things out of people who don't mean you well. You got to be careful who you let into your home, and that don't mean put up a facade or act like everything is or isn't a certain way in your house. But you got to think about this: regardless of how positive we keep it on this show or anywhere else, everyone doesn't mean you well, and you would be a fool to think that they do. And it's not good or bad, it's just the way the world is. Some people care about you, some people don't. And you don't want to give anybody anything to make you more vulnerable than you already are, especially when it comes to family, So you have to understand that. And what I talk about here as far as family, comes from the inside, making what you exhibit most, almost seem effortless. Because if someone doesn't agree with you, that passion and that love for whatever it is you have that passion, that love for, if you don't agree with it, that should take over, and that should really help you move, through those different things or those different challenges. And as a family, if they've accepted you and they understand who you are, they're gonna try to help you. Like family, like real family isn't gonna just oust you because you wanna play basketball and they like baseball. Like it's not that's not how real family works. They're gonna support you and they're gonna let you do the things that you want to do, and they're gonna steer you in the direction to be as good as possible at them. And I really think I believe that's true. I hold that's true, and that's how I hold that true, and that's how I live and try to influence people and understand that this podcast. If you a part of this podcast, if you follow the pages, you listen weekly, you're a part of a family. And like I said, send in your likes, your comments, your emails, messages, DM, different situations, things that you want to hear me talk about or speak about, try to give advice on, or different situations that are going on in your life that are positive and could help someone else. And it really does help, so trying to build a family with this podcast and the principles of positivity, love, and peace, those things matter. And you got a family outside of your family, not one that you need to necessarily tell all your family business to me or anything, but if you do have anything you would like to share that you've moved through and that you think could help somebody else, I'm pretty sure others would appreciate it, because like I said, man, this podcast isn't really about me and giving my biases or trying not to be biased on different subjects. It's really about just helping somebody and helping, other people, get past whatever they need to get past and really start exhibiting these principles in their life. And I really think, this topic today was a request of somebody. So, I've already helped at least one person, if they're watching or if they're going to watch later. At least I hope I have. Tried my best to help you. So, last but not least, family first. You never abandon family, but you don't become an enabler either. You don't provide, drugs to the drug addict. You try to get interventions or some method of weaning them off of whatever it is that's hurting them. Doesn't have to be drugs or anything, but you don't become an enabler. You don't do wrong by your family. You do everything to help them. And I think acceptance and understanding would help a lot of families really start to help each other better and more efficiently, rather than running into a lot of different things that come with it. Because if you can accept, understand, love, and listen and learn that time is gonna take time for different things to happen and this, that, and the third, you can really move in a different way, and the energy can be different, and all of the things that you prayed for and things that you wanted to happen, I guess, within your family or with somebody else's family. Once you start exhibiting these things and really start leading with love and positivity, that peace and that happiness and that togetherness, I think will really come back into whatever family situation has torn people apart or caused them not to forgive or listen, or if pride's in the way. I think all of that gets past it and really helps people heal, because there are a lot of broken people. So hopefully this helps somebody. That's my spiel for today. This one was a little bit longer than the usual 15 minutes, but I really kind of tried to dive into this one, and we could go all day about it. So I mean, if you want to talk to me about it later or anything, anybody has any emails or questions, or just really want to talk about perspective and trying to get perspective on different things and really trying to learn how to understand and listen, and you can just hit me anywhere. So hey, that's the end of this podcast. I appreciate you, family. We here every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Just gotta keep moving along. So I appreciate everybody that viewed. I appreciate everybody that's gonna listen to this later. That is really trying to help and move this movement. And like I said at the beginning of the show, don't forget to go look up EJ King _Faust. That's KING _FOST. If you're in the Miami area, hit him. Or even if you're not, I'm pretty sure he has other ways to to allow you to help somebody, get somebody a backpack so they can, go to, summer camp or get ready for the next school year, and help somebody who isn't as fortunate as you. So, appreciate y'all.